So today, I needed to have a drink. Oh, child. Coming to you with a bedtime story. As you can see, your girl is ready to go to bed, honey. But before I sleep, I need to tell you guys a little bedtime story so you guys can sleep well too. Anyway, guys, so today's bedtime story is basically discussing what it feels like to be a clown. Like, what is a clown even? Like, we've heard people talk about like clownery. Oh, he's making me a clown, or she's making me a clown, or I was a clown in that situation. So basically, I want to tell you guys about a moment in a relationship where I felt like I was in a circus, and I was the fool. And basically, let me just define what clownery means in this instance. Like, when you find yourself in a situation whereby things are not adding up, that this is not making sense, that none of this is, there's a lot of juju and things are just 1 + 1 is basically just not 2. And even though and you can see the signs and the red flags are like pew, like they're so loud, you still choose to, you know what, I'm just gonna pretend like I don't see this. I'm gonna pretend like everything's okay, pretend like all of this makes sense. And that's how you become a clown. So my clownery moment started in a relationship that I was in, and I really liked this guy. We had a very strong emotional connection, and I was just like, oh, this is the first person that I felt like I could open up and be vulnerable. Ooh, you know how difficult it is to be vulnerable, guys. I was like, okay, I can be vulnerable with this person. Would speak for hours, like that honeymoon phase. Like, things are sweet, like this wine, like it's kumnandi, man. Things are nice, like they're sweet. So anyway, things were really good. Now fast forward, because I don't want to drag the story, but things are smooth, things are sweet. We decide, let's start dating, and I think this is now maybe 2 months after. I was also skeptical. I was such a on the book type of girl. Like, I'm not going to date someone who just got out of a relationship. I need you to be ready. I want to be ready. I want to communicate. Like, things have to be like perfect. And in my head, that's what I thought. I thought I was basically manufacturing a perfect relationship. And that's what I got wrong, is that like when you're working with another person, you can't manufacture anything. Like, this is not your personal project. I just wanted him and I to be in a space whereby we could still speak with each other even though we don't feel the same way. If we feel like, I'm not feeling this, can we talk about it and tell each other like, listen, I really deeped you in the beginning, but now I don't really think that you're what I'm looking for. I wanted that type of situation, instead of you trying to make me a fool, instead of you trying to clown me. Don't make me a clown. Like, that's really what I was trying to avoid. So I always made sure that there was good communication in the relationship. I was like I was a diplomat, basically. Like, even when he was wrong, I would always be the one running after him to try and fix things. Like, let's talk, setting up the motion of how the conversation goes. Like, we need to do, like, guys, wow, I was doing a lot in that relationship when it comes to think about it. And I think that he was also very manipulative. So I think he could see that I tend to be anxious when things are wrong, so I always want to fix them. And also the way in which I fix them, like, I'm not super radical, I'm always peaceful, like, let's just be calm and everything. So anyway, long story short, so we were apart during the end of the year vacation. So I guess summer vacation in South Africa, we were like apart, and he went home, I went home, so we didn't see each other, but we were still communicating. Things were good. But when he came back and we linked up again, like, things were really wrong. Things were just, and you know what I did, guys? Woo! So what I did was I had saved up money because I was working before the schools closed. So I had saved up money and I wanted to be so nice. Like, this was like so excited for this relationship, like something proper, someone that I really get along with. I decided, okay, let me just send him like a nice gift and all of that stuff. And when he came back, I was like, okay, let's just go away on a weekend together, spend some time together. And girl, that's when the wheels just started to turn. They just turned. I was just like, I don't recognize this man anymore. And like, guys, I feel like when you have an emotional connection with someone and they start acting shady, you kind of can feel it, because that's what brings you guys together. If you have a sexual connection with someone and the sex starts getting weird and the person doesn't want to sleep with you anymore, you feel that, because you feel like, man, that's what brings us together. And if you have like a, depending on the type of relationship you have with someone, if they start acting weird and moving weird around you, and those things that brought you together start to be a bit like, you don't do it seldomly anymore, it's just weird, then you know something is off. And whenever I spoke to this guy about this, he was just acting like, I'm busy, like things are happening. And I'm like, dude, like we went through the whole of our exams and you all of a sudden you're busy. Like, I don't understand. Like, and this is peak, like it's early in the year. What exam are you writing? Like, what are you doing? So I knew, like, when the excuses started to pile up, I was just like, oh my God, I'm getting so anxious, I'm stressing. I'm like, you know, I need to, what should I do, you know? But okay, so this is the peak. After all this back and forth communicating and him just making up all these sort of excuses, I was like, okay, I still sticked around, even though I could see that the signs are saying the door, leave, sis, good sis, take your bags and go. I went to go and see him, and during that time I saw that he couldn't leave his phone around me, and even if he left the phone, it had to be face down and not face up. I guess he was afraid that if a message would pop up, like I'd see it and then I'd like obviously ask questions like, who this girl, you know, who this girl? And then yeah, so we went to the bathroom, he's carrying the phone with him. Then we were just like chilling, lying in bed, whatever, and he said, okay, that was the first thing that I was like, no. Number two, he said to me, do you want me to play you a song that I play for my exes when I cheated on them? I'm just like, I should have been big mad. Like, I really should have been big mad. But that was the real, like, conservative first, like, you know, first time dating seriously. I should have blown the house on fire after he said that. But I was just like, what do you mean? I literally said that. I was like, what do you mean? Like, that's not okay. Why would you say that? And he's like, I'm just joking. I don't mean it like that, whatever. And I kept quiet. Like, that was it. Then the third thing that he said, his birthday was coming up soon. So I was like, okay, what do you want to do for your birthday? Blah, 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 blah. And he was just like, nah, I think you're probably going to be busy with your studies. And, you know, we're kind of like, you know, in different areas now, studying here, so I think it's better, like, don't worry about it, we can celebrate whenever you can. And I'm thinking, why don't you want to celebrate your birthday with me? Because number one, I never told you that I can't make it during the week. I never told you that I had problems. I just asked, what do you want to do, so that, you know, we can start thinking and planning. So he didn't want to spend his birthday with me, even though he was hiding his phone from me, even though he asked if he could play a song that he plays for his exes when he cheats on them, even though he didn't want to celebrate his birthday with me, and he came up with an excuse to make it seem like he cares about my well-being and me not wasting my time and studying. I still was like, okay, I'ma push through, I'ma be in this relationship. Clown, big fat clown. Anyway, so I still continued in that relationship, but I mean, shortly after that, like, I obviously couldn't maintain that nonsense, so that wasn't the reason why we broke up. But other things obviously happened after that, and there were so many signs that were saying just leave. But I guess I was just holding on, because, you know, it was like the first time I felt like I had connected with someone on such a level. But like, I'm definitely not that person anymore. But I mean, sometimes. So yeah, I just felt like I should share this story, because I feel like we've all been in that position, or we've all been in a situation whereby, whether it's a friend or it's a man or it's a relationship, like, we've all been in a situation whereby we knew, like, the bells were so loud, everything, like, everybody knows that you are being made a fool, you are being made boo-boo, like, you are literally in a circus, like, people are laughing, and you still decide, I will play my role as a clown, like, I want to be the clown. I hope you guys enjoyed this bedtime story. Comment down on the comment section down below on your experience of being made a clown, or your experience where you knew that this was just not adding up. Once again, please don't forget to like this video if you enjoy it. Click the subscribe button. Go ahead into our Instagram page at Babes I've Been There. Click that follow button, honey. Subscribe, it is only free, and we will see you on our next video. Peace and love.